Today I'm going to be showcasing every single essence in Divine Duality. I'm going to start off with Wind and Flame, and they're going to get better as we go on. So right now we're starting off with Common. This is the E move for Wind. This is the R move for Wind. It just shoots you into the air basically. This is the F move for Wind, and basically just starts a tornado around you. Now on to Flame. This is the E move for Flame. Shoots just like fire basically. This is the R move. And finally, this is the F move. And this is what Flame and Wind look like on your arm. Now we're going to be showcasing Earth. This is the E move. This is the R move, which basically just gives you armor. And finally, this is the F move, which is like an Earth hammer. Now for Water. This is the E move. This is the R move. It basically takes the person's health and gives it to you. Last but not least, for Water, this is the F move, which puts them into a bubble and brings them up and then deals damage to them. And this is what Earth and Water look like on your arm. Now for Lightning. This is the E move. And all of the lightning moves stuns the player. This is the R move. And finally, this is the F move, which if you go in the circle, you basically get stunned and forced to sit down. Now for the Essence of Smoke. This is the E move, which just shoots smoke at people. This is the R move, which basically you can just fly around with. And lastly, this is the F move, which just shoots a ball of smoke. And while you're in here, you turn invisible, but every now and then it does update where you're at. And this is what it looks like on your arm. And now for energy. This is the E move, which shoots a lot of energy out. This is the R move. And these attack the nearest player, but since I'm not near anyone, they don't attack anyone. But if anyone gets close, they will start attacking. And this is the F move, which gives you a massive ball of energy and shoots it directly at whatever you're aiming at. Now for Poison. This is the E move. And all of these do poison your enemy for a certain amount of time. This is the R move, which basically slashes at them. And finally, this is the F move, which basically kind of makes you stink and you're surrounded by poison. And this is what they look like on your arm. And now for Combustion. This is E, which just shoots a whole bunch of explosions everywhere. This is R, which you can basically fly with. And finally, this is F, which is honestly really powerful. It's basically like a nuke. Now for Cloud. This is the E move, which basically go around you and shoot rainbow things at your nearest enemy. This is the R move, which allows you to fly, and while you're flying on that, these still attack people. Finally, for the F move, which makes it rain, and when people are in here, their screen gets all blurred. This is what they look like on your arm. And now guys, before I continue with this video, I just want to give a massive shout out to Kaisel. His channel will be linked in the description, but massive shout out to him for giving me all these essences for this video. Now for Light E, it just shoots a giant beam of light. Now for Light R, which basically you zigzag and then attack wherever you're pointing at. Now for Light F, which shoots light down from the sky in this circle. Now for Darkness. This is Darkness E, which basically just attacks anyone in that circle. Now for Darkness F, which allows you to run around really quickly and even go up walls, which I kind of couldn't show you since it ran out of time. Now for Darkness F, which basically lets you leave your body and attracts anyone close to you. And this is what it looks like on your arm. As you can see, it looks really cool, especially light. Now for Inferno. This is Inferno E, which basically lets you go towards someone and punch them with your Inferno. Now for Inferno R, which basically makes you spin and then attack your enemy strongly. Now for F, this one's really cool. Makes you go up and basically shoot down a giant pillar of Inferno. Now for Nuclear. This Nuclear E, which lets you shoot out basically energy, but as nuclear byproduct. Now for Nuclear R, which basically shoots out a nuclear gas. Now finally for Nuclear F, which basically lets you explode into a nuke. And this is what it looks like on your arm. Now for Cyclone. This is Cyclone E, which is basically just a better version of Wind. This is Cyclone R, which basically lets you shoot away nearby enemies. Now finally, for one of the best ones, Cyclone F, which basically an advanced tornado where you can actually move around with and go towards your enemy. Now for Ether. This is Ether E, and Ether is basically kind of like fireworks. This is Ether R. And finally, this is Ether F. And I'm pretty sure this does also blind you or at least make your vision blurry. And this is what it looks like on your hand. Now for Arcane. This is the E Arcane move, which this can also lock around if you actually hit them and lock one of the player's moves. Now for Arcane R, which buffs your damage and also has this really cool silhouette around you. Now finally for Arcane F, which if anyone gets close to that, you'll be locked in a chain. Now we're getting into the cool stuff, and now this is Equinox E. And if you hit someone with this, there's a good chance you will be healed. Now for Equinox R, which lets you teleport over, I don't quite know how far away, but it gets teleport and then you snatch anyone nearby and they deal damage. Now finally, for Equinox F. And this is actually a really cool move. And once you shoot that, there's a blast areas, and if someone gets hit, they will start becoming delusional. And this is what it looks like on your arm. Now for Destruction. This Destruction E. And this is honestly a really deadly one if you can catch them in your path. Now for Destruction R. And if you end up hitting someone, you throw them up in the air and slam them back down. And this one's really cool. Destruction F. You shoot down all these destruction parts, and then a full meteor shoots down. Now last, but not least, Spatial. This is Spatial E. And now you have this cube around you. You can use that cube to throw at people. This is Spatial R, which you can teleport and attack an enemy. Now finally, Spatial F, where you have that huge space that attacks people. Now guys, this is the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Bye y'all.